Hey everyone, welcome to another Explorer and Pioneer video here on Magic Arena. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't already, appreciate the support. And today we are running some Hammer Time, which is not a strategy that we've played a huge amount of in this format. It tends to have been more of a modern thing. So it's built around the idea of Colossus Hammer, which is a 1-mana equipment that gives a quick creature +10/+10 and loses flying, but its equip cost is 8. So this deck is kind of built around ways of cheating that onto our creatures with cards like Sigarda's Aid, which when you cast an equipment, you can attach it immediately to a creature, or Kemba, which allows when it enters the battlefield to you to attach an equipment to it. So yeah, you basically just cheat the Colossus Hammer onto a creature. That obviously makes it a massive, fearsome threat that can very quickly kind of beat the opponent down. But the new technology that we've got in this deck is the Bright Glass Gearhulk, which is we have used before in a slightly different build, but this is a 4/4 for 4 first strike trample. When it enters, you can search your library for up to 2 artifact, creature and or enchantment cards with mana value 1 or less, reveal them, put them into your hand and then shuffle. So obviously in a deck like this, all of our main combo pieces, Sigarda's Aid, Colossus Hammer, we can go and get with Bright Glass Gearhulk, so it just adds a huge amount of resilience to the deck. So yeah, you can see here I've divided the 1-drops into two different lists here. So you've got the kind of the combo bits and then everything else, but all of these cards, so all kind of 24 or so of them, are fetchable with 22, I think, are fetchable with Bright Glass Gearhulk. So we've got many targets for it. So we'll just run through those now. We've got our Mana Elves just to help with consistency, and also something to put Colossus Hammer on. Skrelv Defector Might is a good way of just making sure that our creature with the hammer on it is both protected from removal and can also get through opponents' blockers. Portable Hole for some early interaction, and Haywire Might as well. So those are our kind of non-combo 1-drops, and we can go and get those in various combinations as and when we need them. But we've also got 4 copies of Sigarda's Aid and 4 Colossus Hammer, so the kind of the more classic, traditional bit of the combo. And then we have some additional equipments that we can go and fetch with it as well. Lava Spur Boots, which gives the creature haste and ward, and Shadow Spear, which gives it lifelink. So kind of various combinations of equipments that are pretty good. Kemba, Car Enduring, 2/2 legendary cat cleric for 2. When it or another cat we control enters, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to that creature, so we can get around the Colossus Hammer equip cost that way as well. And a couple of Voice of Resurgences as well, very, very good against opponents who are playing control and decks which are trying to cast spells on our turn. Then we do have 4 copies of Enduring Innocence, as well as being a decent target for the hammer, making a 12 power lifelink creature. It obviously is a source of card advantage by itself, triggers whenever a creature with power 2 or less enters under our control once a turn, and then comes back as an enchantment. And then we are running 1 copy of Ren and Realm Breaker as well, which is an interesting addition to this list, as well as making our lands a little more consistent in terms of the colour of mana they tap for. We can turn a land into a creature to equip a hammer to it, or mill and get a permanent back from our graveyard. And then, yeah, the Gearhulk as well rounds out the curve at 4. They're relatively light on the lands, just 20 of them, as we do have the full 8 Mana Elves as well. A lot of dual lands. Bright Glass Gearhulk does have a slightly restricted mana cost, so we do need to reliably be able to hit that. A couple of basic lands, an Iganjo and a Besaju as well. Then in the sideboards, we got a couple more targets for Bright Glass Gearhulk, so 2 more Haywire Mites and a Grafdigger's Cage. But generally, most of what we are trying to fetch with it is in the main deck. Then some more interaction with Get Lost, Rest in Peace, as Graveyard Hate. Not hugely fussed about our own graveyard. Obviously, a bit of a nombo with Ren and Realm Breaker, so worth bearing that in mind. 2 more Voice of Resurgences, so good against, as I say, against control and decks like that. Damping Sphere will shut down Phoenix decks and Lotus Field decks. And then we are running 4 copies of Leyline of Sanctity, which is not a leyline we see hugely often. But it's similar to all of the other ley lines. If it's in your opening hand, you can begin with it on the battlefield, and you have hexproof. So it's essentially a way of kind of protecting us from Thoughtseizes and burn and all of the things which might try and disrupt our combo and kill us before we can get it assembled, or kind of interfere with it through things like hand disruption. So yeah, Hammer Time. This is a fun strategy. We'll see if it's actually any good, if Bright Glass Gearhulk can add something to it. So yeah, let's go on to the ladder. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah, let's see how we go on with this. Well, this has got all of the bits of the combo, I suppose. So we'll start with this Sigarda's Aid. We may as well get that down, just in case they have like hand disruption or counter spells. Okay, well, we potentially got a turn 3 kill here if we can flash in both of our Colossus Hammers. Yeah, well, we may as well try. Okay, that's pretty good. Right, so the opponent was on a sort of multi-colour something. Obviously, we didn't see any of their actual cards, but I'm going to assume it's something like Niv To Light or Overlords or something like that. Which doesn't really give us a huge amount of kind of knowledge to sideboard with, except that I think I'll probably take out a couple of portable holes. Put in another voice and maybe another Haywire Knight. I think I probably won't get lost as well. This could be a mistake, because obviously we don't know a huge amount about what the opponent's actually playing. This is a mulligan. This is an okay hand. It's not... It's not even okay, actually, because Enduring Innocence... I think we're going to have to get lucky and potentially draw into something a bit better here. I'll put back Shadow Spear. Okay, well, there's Sigarda's Aid again. Yeah, Leyline Binding that isn't actually the worst. So we'll put the Lava Spur Boots down. Enduring Innocence is just fine. Okay, turns out it's not fine at all. And then, just because I can, I may as well protect one of my elves. And then we can Bright Glass next turn, potentially. Okay, so they are playing Niv To Light. Yeah, here comes Niv Mizzet. Ooh, interesting. Huh. Okay. Well... I should definitely Bright Glass here. Then I'm going to put Skrelv and Sigarda's Aid in my hand. Play Skrelv. Move this across to my Bright Glass Gearhulk. pass the turn. So they do have Prismari command available to them. Ooh, that's pretty cheeky. And another Bring to Light into Sunfall. Well, we're probably not getting out of this one in a hurry, but let's not lose hope entirely. That was a pretty well-timed Thoughtseize that they had there. I'm not sure whether them having... because they are an 80-card deck. Does it justify having Leyline of Sanctity? What would we be taking out instead, I suppose, is the question. Definitely want the other Haywire Might for their bindings. And various other things. I don't think we need Leyline. I do want... does Grafdigger's Cage stop the Bring to Light cards? No, because you exile it, so that doesn't really work in this case. That's fine, and we'll trim a Kemba. Yeah, I don't know. Did we want Leyline? Probably not. It's a tough call. We know they're running Thoughtseize, but it's not the kind of main aim of their deck. I'm going to keep this because I think Mystic will probably survive one turn. And that's enough to kind of get other stuff down onto the battlefield. Yeah, okay, so we'll play Mystic number 2, then get Sigarta's Aid into play. Red and Realmbreaker, -2.
I am the nexus of all nature.
Sadly, we do want to land here. Not just a hammer, unfortunately. Okay, Cornucopia, so they're doing lots of setup here. So we want an Enduring Innocence. I also think we want a Haywire Might. Get rid of their Cornucopia before it can start drawing them cards. And we'll protect our Enduring Innocence with Skrelv. We don't need to submit a land here. Okay, that went reasonably. They do, of course, have Bring to Light. We do need the other bits of our combo. It is rather frustrating that we don't have them. Just Lightning Helix. Okay, that's not the best. So, I can Bright Glass Gearhulk here. Well, let's start with milling 3 cards.
A small gift.
And we'll return another Innocence to our hand. Let's Bright Glass. We'll go fetch Hammer and... let's just get 2 hammers, perhaps. Yep. Put it on our Enduring Innocence. Well, that's pretty good life gain. I could have played that slightly differently, perhaps, if I'd grabbed... no, I couldn't have grabbed an untapped land and then 2 hammers. That wouldn't have done it. Okay, looks like they probably have Sunfall.
Death courses through me.
No, okay, that's not the worst then. Yeah, they need to target a hammer here. Yeah, they can't target the Innocence. Well, that's not too bad because we have hammer number 2. So, should be able to kill them here. I mean, I could do all this at instant speed, but doesn't seem a huge amount of point. Because I will be able to protect this with Skrelv. Yeah, so we'll give this, yeah, we could give that protection from green. They wouldn't have enough life to overcome. There we are. Okay, need a little bit of fiddling around there, but we managed to win. Wilkson. Yep, this will do. It needs some other bits of the combo, but 2 Sigarda's aids are a pretty good start. Hello. And we'll start with Llanowar Elf. Sylvan Scrying, eh? Okay, so this could be... yep, it's a Lotus Field style deck. So I want Haywire Might. And I want a Sigarda's Aid here. Then we'll just see what the opponent's up to. Another Sylvan Scrying, so this will probably be for a Thespian stage. Yep. These decks are nothing if not predictable. Well, that's moderately annoying that I can't Gearhulk this turn. So... play a Kemba. So I don't think the opponent's going to be able to go off immediately. Main deck Path of Peril. What a world, eh? Well, that's probably enough to stop us winning this particular game. Yeah, this doesn't look good. Because they can start turning their Thespian stages into Lotus Fields. Yeah, we'll scoop this one up. So Damping Sphere, obviously. Portable Hole is terrible in this matchup. Probably worth replacing with Get Lost, just in case they have like Omniscience or the other things. Yep. Don't actually think this should be a terrible matchup for us, because we should be able to just kill them under their combo, but yeah, that Path of Peril that they had early on, just perfectly aligned for what we were trying to do. Yep, this is a good opening hand. Doesn't have Damping Sphere, but I think the plan is to kill the opponent before that matters. So let's Sigarda's Aid into Sigarda's Aid into Lava Spur Boots. Because we can, we may as well protect our Llanowar Elf. Okay, now let's get Bright Glass down. Grab 2 hammers. So I think I will need to mulligan more. That's pretty cheeky. Well, you can't say they don't come with the answers. Fortunately, not tolerating it this time. So we'll be able to win with double Colossus Hammer. Yeah, that Get Lost was came in absolute clutch there. So otherwise that might have been a quite difficult matchup for us. Okay, so I think I want another Haywire Might for lockdown purposes. Just trim a Skrelv on the draw. And yeah, this time I think we are mulliganing more aggressively for Damping Spheres. Yeah, this hand's probably a bit too good to not keep. Let's hope Haywire Might can get it done for us. So I think I'm definitely going to be holding up anti-temporary lockdown tech at all times, I should say. So they are also running Strict Proctor. Oh, this deck is wild. So we are going to have to be cautious about that, because it will stop some of our stuff from happening, like the Bright Glass activations. So in the meantime, we'll just play Enduring Innocence and pass the turn. Yeah, this is kind of both Lotus Field deck combos, both Lotus Field decks in one. I can't say I care for it. Maybe I should have just gone and got... Maybe I should have just made sure I had Damping Sphere. It's hard to say, to be honest. I mean... So we can't Bright Glass at the moment because the... that one I... Which one's... That one I will pay for. That one I don't care about. Oh dear. It's not looking good. Opponent just has so much mana. And they want rid of my Haywire Might. And an Emergent Ultimatum. Okay, well, fair enough. Good beats. Yeah, maybe I should have just gone looking for the Damping Sphere. I wasn't expecting to see Strict Proctor was the problem. And I think without it, would have probably won. And if I'd known, I would have kept in my portable holes. Yeah, no, they got me with unknown deck tech there. Nope. Also no. Yeah, I'm not liking the amount I'm having to mulligan with this deck, I have to say. It seems to be a recurring problem. Once or twice you can kind of put it down to bad luck, but... We'll pop Shadow Spear into play here, as it's not one of our more expensive equipments. Some sort of Golgari sacrifice deck, no doubt, with the food. Probably with perhaps Egra in it. Yep. Okay, being able to play Innocence is good here. Oven, sure thing. And they do have the old Cauldron Familiar combo. So... I'll play another Enduring Innocence. Okay, we like land. Land gives us access to Elvish Mystic, which doesn't trigger the Innocences, I know, but it does... Well, it does... Actually, it does. Well, good thinking, me. So we'll let them do their loop, but we got plenty of time. And already having a hammer in hand allows me to potentially go and get Lava Spur Boots. Even though I do need Sigarda's aid as well. It's worth remembering. Okay, so shock this in, play Bright Glass Gearhulk, and let's go fetch Aid and Lava Spur Boots. We'll play Sigarda's Aid. And we'll attack with both of our Innocences. Flash in the old Colossus Hammer. Pop it on the Innocence being blocked. Opponent will then take 14 damage. Oh god, no, it doesn't give it Trample. Ugh, that was silly. Well, that'll learn me. Yeah, that was a really catastrophic mistake. Oh well, I mean, now I do have a 12 power Enduring Innocence, I suppose, which I can then give Trample, so it's not the end of the world. But, you know, let's not talk too much about this particular experience. Now we can give this ward 1. Which will protect it from the Boseiju. Oh, sorry, I really must pay attention. They weren't targeting that at all. They were targeting the hammer. But that's fine. I'm playing very loosely at the moment. I've got a lot of threats on the battlefield, though. That is worth bearing in mind. Draw some additional cards. Play another Sigarda's Aid, and let's tool up our Bright Glass with the Lava Spur Boots. Igra is down. Okay. I should be able to win from here. So I don't quite have lethal just by, and they would gain some life anyway. So I'm gonna tool up the. Okay, didn't need to. Okay, I played that game quite badly, so we got away with winning there. I have to say, but that's fine. We will, you know, take our lessons on that. Put in Rest in Peace. Put in some more Haywire Mites. Grafdigger's Cage. I don't think we need Voice here. They're not doing very much. Instant Speed. Portable Hole is great. Kemba, I think, can probably come out. And we'll just rely on our 1-drops to get it done for us. So many 1-drops. Right. Focus. In my defense, you would expect a card that was called Colossus Hammer to give the creature trample. Yeah. These opening hands have not been good. I think. Okay, we like to see Sigarda's Aid. I don't know if the mana... Does it just need a few more lands? Maybe it does just need a couple more lands. It's possible. Okay, the opponent's running... the opponent's a bit short on land, which is a good sign. So we've potentially got quite a lot of time here to play with. Okay, they've got the land they need. Vine Reap creating a food token for Goose is actually quite a good, neat little thing for them there. So I think I'm just going to get 2 hammers with Bright Glass. Don't try and be too cute about it, because with Skrelv protecting it, potentially, well, we'll see what they do. But yeah, with Skrelv protecting it, I'm not hugely worried about needing to give it ward or anything. So yeah, we're Bright Glassing next turn. It doesn't look like the opponents potentially may not be here anymore. So yeah, we would get Bright Glass. Bright Glass would fetch 2 hammers. Next turn we'd then double... Double hammer. I don't know if we'd want a duplicate Sigarda's Aid, potentially, in case they have like a Boseiju or anything. But then I feel like if they had Boseiju, they'd probably have used it. I'm just talking through our options here, as I say. I'm not sure the opponent's coming back. Oh no, maybe they are. Yeah, because this doesn't protect our... You know what? I am going to play it slightly safe, and I'm going to get an Aid and another and a hammer, just because I want to potentially guard against losing our Sigarda's Aid, which will slow down killing them slightly. Scavenger's Talent, okay. Ganjo's not terrible either, so we'll get Aid number 2 into play, just in case they try and destroy it in response to me playing Colossus Hammer. So they've got Abrupt Decay for the hammer. Okay. So I can't protect that from... Yeah, again, does not mean that was the wrong decision. I think it was actually the right decision. Because they could have Abrupt Abrupt Decayed my Sigarda's Aid instead. We do have quite a lot of redundancy though in terms of our things that we can go and get, so not yet worried. Okay, Haywire Might is pretty good. So let's Bright Glass, attack. Then do I just want to get rid of Scavenger's Talent now? I suppose I might as well, before they start doing stuff with it. And this Bright Glass just attacking for 4 first strike damage every turn is not exactly a bad thing by itself. Okay, they've got duplicate Scavenger's Talent. Bright Glass number 2. Okay. Well, that's coming down. Let's go get 2 hammers. Okay, they got another Abrupt Decay, fair enough. So we'll resolve that one. And we'll play the other hammer. Yeah, and then we could kill them with Skrelv there, so... Okay, I played that one a lot better. Which is good. There you are, you see the full duality of my magic ability within those two, within the same match. So yeah, I think fetching the additional Sigarda's Aid was definitely the right thing to do there, because it gave redundancy against their Abrupt Decay. Even though it did slow down the win kind of on the face of it, it was the right thing to do. So yeah, again, it's one of those, a bit like the Metalwork deck I played in the last video, where if you can get the thing, the deck to do its thing, it feels very powerful, as we saw in the kind of the first game of that first match. But it can be feel a bit bad if you're not really doing anything, and I do think it needs a couple more lands. We did more often than I think felt comfortable have to mulligan away hands for not having enough lands in. Maybe you cut Ren and Realmbreaker for another land. Yeah, maybe just one other card somewhere along the line. Maybe one of the Innocences, one of the Kembers. Yeah, I think it needs just a smidge more land would be my feedback on this deck. But yeah, no, the Bright Glass Gearhulk giving us the ability to fetch up all of the bits of the combo felt very powerful, gave it a huge amount of redundancy. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. But yeah, here is the deck list one more time. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe as ever, and I'll see you next time.